Hey Bluelighters, how are we doing? Brendan here, doing a bit of an impromptu live for you. I was going to do a few YouTube videos. I've not been doing them much over the past couple of weeks for a variety of reasons. And then I realised that my microphone wasn't charged up. So I thought I'd go live and tell you about some of the things that I was going to talk about on YouTube. How are we doing, by the way? It's Monday, start of the week. How excited are you? This time next week, by the way, even though it's going to be a bank holiday, some exciting news for you. If you've not asked to join the 5-day performance boosting Spring Forwards Challenge, then you need to do so. So just put something in the comments. It's going to be awesome. We're going to do so much cool stuff, and it's completely free to help you through every stage of the recruitment process. So I'll mention that later as well, just to remind you. But tonight I want to talk to you about there's one thing that you are all consistently not doing. That's right. It's something that you're consistently not doing. And if you think you know he's making it up, no, here's the evidence. Here's my notes from interview coaching I've done just recently. There's one, there's another one. I pinned them all together because I don't even know what that one is. Hang on, that's something else. That one there. What else have we got? And there's another one. That one there. So, it's just consistent. One thing that you are all consistently doing, not all of you, but like 99% of you, and it's causing you to fail at your interviews, or if it's for the online assessment centre where the bar's not as high, you're not achieving the score that you could achieve. And I'm going to tell you about that in a moment, and also give you an update as to what's going on in the Deputy Commissioners Working Group. I'm a member of the Metropolitan Police's Deputy Commissioners Working Group that's looking at issues around trust, confidence, recruitment and retention in the main around the black communities of London. So that's awesome to be part of that. So let's do some shout outs first. So I should do lives a little later, shouldn't I? Because there's a lot more of you joining. So Dylan, good evening to you. Hannah, Wilson, David, Tim, who's saying, hey Brendan, hey Tim, how you doing? Jack, Tim, oh yeah, Tim again. All right. Anita, good evening to you. Ashmain, how's it going, Ashmain? Have you got a start date yet? Hi Brendan is saying, good to see you, Ashmain. So bit of a shout out there to some of you who are watching. Awesome to have you on board. All right, what's this one thing? So I talk about these essential ingredients in any interview answer. And the first essential ingredient is having a structure. So I've talked about this in so many videos before, having a structured approach. If it's a competency and values question, the one that starts with, can you tell me about a time when, then we are going to use the SAL-Q structure, which stands for situation, aim, actions, result, learning, knowledge and understanding. Now they're further broken down into little constituent parts. If you use that structure, by the way, you are going to provide a 4 to 5 minute answer, and some of you might be thinking, whoa, that's too long. I can't be talking for that long. No, seriously, you need to, because in your joining instructions for the interviews, for the in-force interviews, you are being told that your interview will be 45 minutes to an hour long. That's typical. That's very, very typical. And you'll be asked several questions. Now, typically, you're asked between 6 and 8 questions. Someone do the math for me, by the way. Let's divide 8. So let's say it's a lot of questions. Let's divide 8 into an hour. Someone do the math for me, and I can't work that out. I'm going to do 8 into 60. My head's starting to hurt. Maths, I was never good at maths. What's 8 into 60? Someone let me know. Some maths guru, maths genius. What's 8 into 60? All right, it's lots of minutes. Whatever that is, it's lots of minutes. Let's say 6 minutes. That's a lot of talking for each answer. No, it'd be about 5, won't it? Anyway, whatever. It's about 5 or 6 minutes of talking. Now, there's always going to be a few minutes either side of the interview that's introductions and stuff like that. Someone's saying 7.5. Well, there you go. 7.5 minutes. So that's a lot of talking. They're not. I've been the interviewer. We don't want to do the talking. We want you to do the talking. So you need a structured approach, and SALCU provides you with that structure. Forget STAR. All right, you can use it if you want, feel free, use it if you want. But listen, I tried using that about 20 years ago for an interview, and it just didn't work. It was too simplistic. Whereas SALCU, with all the different constituent parts of it, you've got 4 or 5 minutes worth of talking. And for those of you doing the online assessment centre, you've got 5 minutes to talk. I know some of you are saying, I passed and only spoke for 3 minutes. Yeah, but there's a difference between a pass and an outstanding pass. And some forces, not all of them, but some forces are only taking people on who've scored outstandingly. So you need to be in that top bracket of top scorers. So we're going to use that structured approach. Now the second thing, I said it's one thing, didn't I? It's two. Structure, detail. Oh my goodness, detail. So many of you are great at talking about what you did, but you're not telling the interviewers when it's me, when we practice doing one-to-ones or we do webinars, you're not telling them the detail. You're telling them what you did, but not how you did it. Right, let me give you some examples here. Look, these are scribbly notes I make when I'm doing one-to-one coaching. So this is Jay here, who gave a example of integrity. Really good example. Really good example. And it was an individual who, it was an individual who was taking time off, and they shouldn't have been. It wasn't being recorded. They were just taking time off work, and everyone was turning a blind eye to it, and he decided not to. So tried talking to him, reported to the line manager, response wasn't welcome, we talked about it. That's what you did, but how did you do any of that? See, the thing is, all of that doesn't tell me anything. Does that make sense? It's not telling me anything at all about how you tried talking to the individual concerned, how you reported it to the line manager. How did you do that? How did you talk about it later on, where he agreed? Also, I sought advice from other individuals. How did you seek advice? See, that's what makes it a stronger answer. Introducing the how. Is that making sense, folks? Here's another one. Let me just see if I can remember what it was. It was another integrity one from another J. That's just her first letter in the name, by the way. It was, let's see. All right, that was it. So, again, it was, I don't even know what the context was, because he didn't tell me what the context was at the beginning, which makes it really difficult, doesn't it, for the interviewer to think, what's he on about? I spoke in private. I spoke to the person involved. I had a word in private. My colleague was angry. He thought I'd grassed him up. So I spoke with him again. But what does spoke mean? What's involved in spoke? I want to know what's involved in spoke. Here's another one, integrity, from Kay. This actually was an incredible example. Oh my goodness, an amazing example. Once we debriefed it and I found out actually what really happened was, and I got the detail out of it. So what I do in my debriefs when we do this one-to-one coaching or when we do these webinars, interactive webinars, there's one this Sunday, by the way, an interview, interactive webinar. And the online assessment centre, course 14 is halfway through. Next one is going to start, it's a crash course a week, not this weekend, but the weekend after. Course number 15 starts in a week and a half. And this is what we do. You know, these notes are from notes made during these webinars. It was honestly, in the debrief, it was an incredible example. I remember thinking, it's just awesome now. Just awesome performance from this individual. Will so get the job. Now they're going to use this structured approach and add the detail. Because when it came to actually challenging the individual's behaviour concerned, all they said was, I challenged it calmly, I did challenge him, he agreed and apologised. That's it. I don't know how you did challenge. So you've got to explain that, folks. You seriously got to explain it. Here's another one. There's loads. Honestly, this is just a little selection box of just to show you, this is just a regular thing. It occurs all the time. I encouraged everyone to give their opinion. How did you do that? I discussed the importance of the thing that we're doing as a team. How did you do that? I encouraged people to provide an input. Yeah, how did you do that though? How did you do it? So folks, this is something that's really, really important. In other videos I've done, I talk about the 7 levels of how, because invariably I'll say, so how did you report it to your line manager? Well, I arranged a meeting with him. How did you arrange a meeting? Well, I just did. I said, no, how did you actually arrange a meeting? And when you met with this individual, how did you do? Well, I spoke with them about the issue. Yeah, how did you spoke? Well, I told them what had happened and then asked them for their advice. All right, so how did you ask them for their advice? And they're looking at me going, huh? Well, I outlined to them what had happened and then said, and I'm not quite sure what to do next. I've got these ideas, this idea, this idea, and this idea. Which one do you think is best? Which one do you think, based on your experience, would work best? Right, so that's how you did it. And so, yeah, so how did you do that then? What sort of questions were they? Oh, they're open questions. Well, why did you use open questions? Well, because open questions can elicit information from people. See how it works, folks? That was like 5 levels of how. But that's what we talk about, these sort of 7 levels of how. Invariably, it'll take me 5 or 6, 7 questions of the individual to actually get the information from the client that explains how they did something. So that's what the YouTube video would have been about, by the way. So let's just have a look at it. So hopefully, does that make sense? Let me know in the comments, folks. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? Do some likes and loves. Come on, let me know that you're actually watching this and thinking, wow, that was awesome, that, Brendan. Great advice. Thank you. You're welcome. Ajmain is, Kurt said it's 7.5. Awesome, Kurt. Thank you. Katrina's saying hi. And Ajmain, you've got a start date. Oh, my goodness. 1st of December. What's that all about? That's like in a different world. That's like almost next year, isn't it? 1st of December. Goodness, wow. But anyway, it's a start date, so awesome job. Ajmain, you blew it out of the water. We did some one-to-one coaching, and you're amazing. EA Acor, good evening. I know your real name, but I'm not going to say it because you might not want other people to know, but how's it going? How is it going? And are you part of the Serving Officers group? I think you are, aren't you? I've got some interesting things lined up for that group. Becca, I got your message before. This is a good way of me communicating, isn't it? I sort of communicate things back to people when they ask me questions. So Becca, I got that. I got it. The thing you sent me, I've got it. So I'll take a look at that tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to provide you with an answer tomorrow. Ellis is watching. Good evening, Mohammed, Dylan, Casey. Ruth is saying, I've got my online assessment centre starting tomorrow. Any last minute tips? Oh my goodness. Oh, hundreds. Where would I start? I've got like a whole course worth, Ruth. It might be time to crash course it. I don't know. You've got a whole week to do it in. I know there's someone joining us tomorrow who's got a whole week to do it in. By the way, the notifications are getting insanely short. Notifications to start the online assessment process. I had a call from someone this morning who said, I've just had an email this morning to say that my online assessment centre week starts today. So that's the shortest notice I've seen. No days at all. Just, it starts today. I said, well, were you pre-warned of the date it's going to start? No, didn't have a clue. So Ruth, not too late to join course number 14 is my best last minute tip, where I guarantee you will pass. And that's not just like this, oh, I guarantee you'll pass, you'll be fine. No, if you don't pass and you show me that you've done the work, I give you a full refund. How about that? Hey, how about that? I'll show you the way you do the hard work. If you've done the hard work and you still don't pass, I'll give you a refund. I've just actually given someone a refund today for failing the interview, final interview, not the online assessment centre. They failed their final interview. They worked so hard for it. I'm not quite sure what went on in the interview. It was for Durham, Durham's a really hard force to get into, so that might explain it. But I gave them a refund. You know, they might come back, they might not, I don't know. So that's how confident I am in what I show you, because it works. You know, how much would you invest? How much would you invest to guarantee your career? Hey, how much would you invest to guarantee your career? Soph is saying, do you ever do any events in Scotland? Soph, I do events in Scotland in your living room. In your living room. I'm not being flippant. It's all online. I do everything online. Online interactive webinars. It was only yesterday was it? No, it was only today, Soph, that I could actually travel into Scotland lawfully. I'm not doing any events at the moment. There's no face-to-face. Although I'd love to come up to Scotland because I lived in Scotland for a while. I lived in Dundee and Carnoustie, just to the east of Dundee. I loved it. It was amazing. Ruth's saying I was on 13, so keeping up with my prep from that. Hey, 13? 13 what? You lost me now. Tracy's saying, would you say GMP is a hard force to get into? Look, there's not really, no. No, Durham, I think most forces, it's not that they're easy to get into, it's just that they, you know, they're not, you just need to prepare and practice. Durham, though, are really choosy. They don't have a lot, they get thousands of people applying, not many places. There's like 60 places a year or something like that. So, yeah, so GMP is not particularly hard, although they have got some hard questions. There's if you go onto my YouTube channel, I did a video, and I think it's in this group as well. It's called The Hardest Questions, and it's the GMP questions. I think I posted it yesterday, actually. I think I posted it again yesterday. If you can't find it, remind me and I'll post it again. Because they're really quite challenging questions. If you're not ready for them, folks, they will destroy you. I heard from someone today who said, I just walked out of my interview halfway through because I just wasn't prepared. I wasn't prepared. So we've got to practice and prepare, practice and prepare, practice and prepare. Neil's saying, on my second week of training with GMP, it is tough, but loving every minute of it. Awesome. Neil, good to hear from you. And pass on my regards to GMP. I had this love-hate relationship with GMP. I loved it, but also I thought, you know, God, what a force this is. It's got some way to go to improve, but it's only going to improve through good people. Soph saying, okay, thanks, book onto the course tomorrow. Hey, you could be starting it in 1 minute, Soph. But Ruth saying, oh, online assessment centre course for the team. Oh, you're already on the course. Hang on a minute. Oh, right, Ruth, you're on the course. All right, okay. I should have remembered you, shouldn't I? So, well, you've got everything you need then. You have everything you need. So what was the question you asked before? Was there any tips or something? I can't find it now. Or anyway, you've got everything you need, honestly. You just follow everything in those webinars and you'll pass. You'll pass. That's it, as simple as that. Tracy's saying, that was me that walked out last year. Don't want that to happen again. It was, actually, I remember you mentioned that, didn't you, Tracy? But there's actually someone else I was speaking to who said it was just such a train wreck that they just stopped the interview and just said, look, I can't do this. Anyway, right, what else have I got to tell you? That's interview stuff. Let me just get some water. Neil said, I'm going to mention you to my trainer. He's been there a very long time, seems to know everyone. What's his name? See if I can remember him, Neil. What's the name of your trainer? I may know them. I actually trained a lot of GMP's trainers back in the day, from 2000 to 2002. I was a trainer of trainers. Justina's saying, do you reckon the final interview for West Yorkshire Police is going to be extremely difficult? It used to be a really, really challenging interview. Only about 1 in every 26 used to get into West Yorkshire Police, 1 in every 26 applicants. They've just reintroduced the interview. I don't know if they're going to do that presentation that they used to do. If they do that, yeah, it's challenging. Neil's saying Paul Frith. It's not ringing a bell. Then again, I'm rubbish with names. And if I see Paul, I'll probably recognise him straight away and go, oh, Paul. or I'll just go, thingy, I recognise your face, but I can't remember your name. So how will he know me? He may not know me, I don't know. I left 7 years ago. Is it 7? Yeah, 7 years ago I left. But I was the Sheriff of Sale for a while, Neighbourhood Inspector for Sale, and Neighbourhood Inspector for Stockport, and worked my last year in the Strategic Change branch, which was nice. All right, so what else to tell you before I go? Let me know, should I do more of these lives? Let me know, should I do more live appearances? I used to do them loads, and I don't know what's happened. I just sort of got out of the habit of doing them. I think lockdown did some weird things to us. So here's some of my notes from this evening. The Deputy Commissioner's Working Group for the Metropolitan Police. Really trying their best to re-establish a good connect with communities, and really honest as well. I can't, it's like Chatham House rules, so I can't talk about a lot of it, but one of the things that cropped up was, one of the questions was, and this might be something for you to consider for things like final interviews, or just to think about this anyway, it's a little challenge for you. So what 3 things should the police be doing to build trust and confidence in communities? What the question there is, what 3 things should the police be doing more of, or should just start doing to build up trust and confidence in communities? Roy Smith, the Chief Superintendent who's leading on this, I know it's Chatham House rules, but he won't mind me saying this, he made this really interesting point. He said, I wonder if after some incident, normally we just send in the tactical support group and the volume crime task force, and we send in all the yellow jackets, and the TSG vans are driving around, and so wonder if that's the best way of doing things. He made this interesting point. He said, I wonder if we could, instead of deploying lots of officers like that en masse, why don't we just deploy kindness? Let's just deploy kindness. And I think there's something in that. And I remember my old sergeant, Don Blackhurst, bless his soul, in 1986. He had 29 years service in 1986. He was saying, especially when it comes to arresting people, he said, when you arrest someone, treat them like a lord. And when you bring them into the charge office, what we call custody now, treat them like a king. Very wise words. On so many levels. On so many levels, that advice has served me well throughout my career. Incredibly well. On so many different levels. Let me know, should I tell you about the different levels that will serve you well? Let me know in the comments. Let me know. Deploying kindness en masse, treating prisoners, the suspects you arrest, like lords when you arrest them, and treating them like kings when you bring them into custody. It's metaphorical, but honestly, on like 4 or 5 levels, this was the advice. If there's top 5 bits of advice, I think that's in my top 5 bits of advice, I think. So what else were we talking about? Recruitment. I can't say what we talked about because it's Chatham House rules. But there was something there for you all to remember, that some points made by members of the community. There's like 30 members of the community on this group, ranging from 17-year-olds to people whose sons have been murdered, involved in knife gang related murders. Awesome group. I'm so privileged and so privileged to feel like I'm, been invited to be part of this group. And we're working towards outcomes as well. And just something else that came out of this that I think is really important is, it's a comment, I'm going to share this with you. I'm not going to say who said it or in what context, but what they said, it's the way we're spoken to that's the important thing. We don't mind the stop and search. We don't mind that you're doing your job. We don't mind that you're clearing the streets of knife crime. Actually, we like that. We like that. But it's the way we're spoken to. See, it's not the what, again. It's the how. It's the how. Isn't that important? It's the how. It's the way we're spoken to by your officers. So a lot more was talked about. I can share it with you one day when the notes become public. And another, I can share this with you, a cracking interview question. which might be on the cards, or it might not be, I don't know. What behaviours instill trust with the public? So what behaviours would you exhibit as a police officer to instill trust with the public? And how would you demonstrate those? That's a killer question, isn't it? I love that one. What behaviour? So I'm going to challenge you now. Here's a challenge for you. Prepare an answer for this. What behaviours instill trust with the public, and how would you demonstrate these behaviours once you're a police officer? I'm going to leave you with that, I think. Awesome stuff. Let's just see a few comments here. So Tracy's saying, I think GMP need your help, failing massively. Oh, Tracy, they've always been in a sorry state, bless them. Justina's saying yes. Justina, what are you saying yes to? I'm sorry. Let's just see. Josh is saying, I had my interview in December, was lucky enough to be interviewed by a superintendent. It did say one thing at the end of the interview. My only advice is don't progress too quickly. Can you shed some light on this, please? Yes. Being a constable is just awesome. I spent, 4, 7, 8 years in the police before I became an acting sergeant. And I didn't let go of the stripes. I just went from acting sergeant to substantive. But I was 8 years a constable. And I'm so pleased that I did 8 years as a constable, because I did some awesome stuff. Oh my goodness. Some awesome roles. 4 years in Cheshire, about 9 months on a plainclothes team, which I enjoyed immensely, tackling all sorts of local crime issues. 6 months as a neighbourhood beat officer in Frodsham of all places, experienced countryside type policing. Seriously, that's when I almost got my head caved in once. I had to have my wits about me, dealing with 4 on board from Speke in the middle of Delamere Forest. Interesting moment that was. And then I went to Bermuda for 3 years and worked in the Bermuda Police. Worked on response, CID, ports unit at the airport, special branch headquarters, got to work with the Secret Service, daily contact with the DEA. It was just awesome. And then back to GMP then. So it was Cheshire, Bermuda, GMP as a constable. 18 months in, it wasn't even that, I think it was about 14 months in, I became a temporary sergeant, acting sergeant, and then the rest is history. But I really enjoyed my time as a constable. So when they say don't progress too quickly, yeah, just make the most of being a constable. And then when you get to sergeant, make the most of being a sergeant. Sergeant was an awesome rank, it's brilliant. I love being an inspector, but I think I like being a sergeant most. It's a sergeant's war out there. I'll tell you more about that phrase another time. So that's what that means, Josh. Hope that helps you, makes sense. All right. And by the way, if there's any serving officers here, Justina's saying yes to more live videos. All right, thank you, Justina. If there's any serving officers here, then please do ask to join the Serving Officers Cadre. I've got something special lined up for you. It's a Facebook group just for serving officers, and I've got some awesome things lined up for you, which you're going to love. You're going to love what I've got lined up for you. Joshua's saying, how do we access the CVF question bank? Let me know whether it's for your interview or the online assessment centre, Josh, and I can send you a link. If you want this, by the way, I'm giving away my question bank. Here's a copy of it. This is one for the online assessment centre. And I talked about SALCU before, the SALCU structure for answering questions. There's all the different questions that could get asked from all the different values, all the different competencies. So I'm sharing that and my guidance document on how to structure the answers for £1. And that's like an ethical bribe, by the way, because once you purchase that and you get access to it, there's this awesome offer I've put together for you where you can access my interview course with the webinars or the online assessment centre course with the webinars for an incredible price. And I'm so confident that you'll love it that if you don't, within, I can't remember how many hours now, is it 8 hours or something, 12 hours, something like that. If you don't love it within, if you look at it and think, actually this isn't for me, just let me know, give you a refund. That's it. And if you do love it, keep it for the awesome price that I've given it you for. And then if you fail and you've done all the work, you get a refund. So can I be fairer than that, folks? You purchase it, you don't like it, you get a refund. You purchase it, you love it, and you don't pass, you get a refund. Can that be any fairer? Can I be any fairer than that? That's how confident I am in my abilities to enable you to pass. I'll show you the way, you do the hard work. That's the deal, folks, that's the deal. All right, let's see what's going on now. Hazel's saying, how long does vetting take? Depends how complicated your circumstances are. Could take weeks, it could take months, it could take a long, long time. So it varies, it depends on the individual. It depends on the force as well. All right, I think that's all the questions answered. All right, awesome, folks. Listen, I'm going to get off now. I need to put the little kiddies to bed. Mrs. Bluelight has had to go to Bulgaria, completely lawfully. We've got some legal issues that we need to deal with there and some property that we're selling. So she didn't want to go. I didn't want her to go, but she's had to go. So this might be why I've not been doing so many lives, because I'm looking after the kiddies. I'm Mr. Dad and Mr. Mum all wrapped up in one for 2 weeks, which is awesome. We're having a great time. But I'm not doing quite so many of the things that I know that you love and that I love doing with you as well. So anyway, that's the end of this live. One last thing to say to you: if you're actually serving out there in any shape or form in the police or in any role that involves a blue light on top of your vehicle, then I love you. Honestly, I love you for what you do from my heart, for what you do to protect us, to serve us. I love you. And for those of you who are hoping to get to that point, or if you're with me on more of my courses, you will. We don't do luck and we don't do hope. Then kudos to you. You're going into the best job in the world, without doubt. How many other professions do you know where people will talk about it just being the best job in the world? Because they're doing the police, and they mean it from the heart. They'll grumble and moan. That's what cops do. But at the end of the day, they'll still go, best job in the world. Best job in the world. And it is. It's an awesome job. So there you go. Any last minute comments from anyone? Neil's saying, any plans for serving officers, police officers group to assist with people going through training like materials with aids to learn pace and legislation? Yes, but not in the way that you're thinking, but yes, with an aim to you creating your own awesome, fulfilling career. Okay, so that'll be part of it. That'll be part of it. But am I going to stand in front of you and teach you the law? No, those days have gone. I don't keep up with the law, so I'm not going to be able to do that. But there's ways that you can utilize the knowledge and understanding you're presented with to develop your skills, to develop your behaviors, to develop your awesomeness in your role, so that you can achieve that thing that you're hoping to achieve, whether it's promotion or specialist position or whatever it might be. And that's what we're going to do in the serving officers cadre. It's going to be awesome. 5-stage process. I'll introduce you to it another time. 5-stage process, which College of Policing, it just kills the College of Policing's PDR guidance. 36 pages. It's insane. Mine's on half a page. It involves 5 simple steps, and it will create this awesome career for you. So, Neil, that's coming up soon. Listen, folks, time to go. You're all amazing. Keep contributing to the group. What a community. It's just incredible. It's an honour and privilege to be part of it. Actually, I created it, but it's still an honour. It's a privilege to be part of this awesome community. Shall catch up with you soon. Look after yourselves. Bye-bye for now.